Alright, let's talk about a game that still gives me goosebumps, even years after its release. There are plenty of horror games out there, but few have left such a lasting mark on the genre, or on the players who dared to experience it alone in the dark. I'm talking about Amnesia, The Dark Descent, a game that redefined what it means to be truly terrified. Now if you've played it, you already know, this isn't your average jump scare fest. It's psychological horror at its purest, a slow burn descent into madness that lingers long after you've put down the controller. Amnesia drops you into the crumbling labyrinthine halls of Brennenburg Castle. You wake up on the cold, stone floor, your mind a blank slate with only fragments of memory and a pounding sense of dread. You don't know who you are, how you got there, or why something is clearly hunting you. Every shadow seems to hide a threat, and every sound makes your heart race. All you have is a note in your own handwriting telling you to kill a man named Alexander. It sounds simple, almost straightforward, but nothing in this castle is ever that easy. The note is both a clue and a curse, setting you on a path you barely understand. Let me tell you what sets Amnesia apart from the rest of the horror crowd. First, you can't fight back. There's no comfort in carrying a weapon, no safety in firepower, no guns, no weapons, nothing but your wits and your will to survive. You're utterly defenseless, and that vulnerability is terrifying. If you see something creeping in the dark, your only choices are to hide, run, or pray it doesn't see you. The game forces you to confront your own fear, to make split-second decisions with your life on the line. That sense of helplessness is where the real fear kicks in. You're not a hero, you're just a survivor, desperate and alone. Your sanity is always on the edge, a fragile thing that can shatter at any moment. The darkness isn't just a backdrop, it's an enemy, slowly eroding your mind. The more time you spend in the dark, the more the world around you warps. You'll start hearing things, whispers, footsteps, the distant sound of something dragging itself closer. You'll see things, shadows that move when they shouldn't, shapes that flicker at the edge of your vision, doors creak open by themselves, whispers echo through empty corridors, and your heartbeat? It's not just the characters you'll hear pounding in your ears. Yeah, it's not just the characters, it's yours speeding up too. The game blurs the line between what's happening on screen and what you're feeling in real life. But it's not just about the monsters you see. In fact, some of the most terrifying moments come from what you don't see, from the anticipation and the unknown. It's about what you imagine is lurking just out of sight, what your mind conjures up in the silence and the shadows. That's the genius of Amnesia. It lets your imagination do half the work, making every corner, every closed door a potential nightmare. That constant dread, the fear of turning a corner or opening a door, not knowing what's waiting on the other side, is relentless. The tension never lets up. Amnesia doesn't rely on cheap scares or sudden loud noises. Instead, it builds a suffocating atmosphere that seeps into your bones. Instead, it messes with your mind, twisting reality until you're not sure what's real and what's just your imagination running wild. The atmosphere is thick. Every creak and groan in that castle just pulls you deeper into the nightmare. The sound design is masterful, making you jump at things that aren't even there. And let's not forget the puzzles. They're not just obstacles, they're part of the horror, forcing you to think and act while your nerves are frayed. You're not just running from monsters, you're trying to solve twisted riddles, all while your sanity slips away. Every puzzle solved is a small victory, but it never feels like enough. Sometimes you mess up, and the game punishes you, but that's part of the tension. Failure isn't just a setback, it's a threat, a reminder that you're always one step away from disaster. So, why does Amnesia, The Dark Descent, still haunt gamers after all these years? It's not just the scares, it's the way the game gets under your skin, making you question every sound, every shadow. For me, it's that feeling that you're never really safe. No matter how careful you are, danger is always just around the corner. There's always something lurking, always watching, and you're powerless to stop it. That sense of being hunted, of being completely vulnerable, is what makes the fear so real. That mix of fear, suspense, and the unknown is what keeps it in the nightmares of horror fans everywhere. It's a masterclass in psychological terror, and it's not for the faint of heart. If you haven't played it yet, do yourself a favor. Turn off the lights, put on some headphones, and see how long you last in Brennenburg Castle. Trust me, it's an experience you won't forget. Just don't blame me if you can't sleep afterward. Some nightmares are worth having, and Amnesia, The Dark Descent delivers them in spades.